Good morning YouTube, welcome back to another video. Trying to stay on top of this long form content. So from the title, you'll see today's video is a full day of eating and leg session. So I thought, I've got exciting things coming next weekend, the weekend after that, a lot cooler videos, but I thought, what can I do this week? We'll do a full day of eating and yeah, I'm gonna go train legs at the dock as well. So I'll probably do a little mic'd up session there if the music's not too loud. So meal one going in. I've already done my fasted cardio. I've already messaged my kind of prep clients. So just waiting on one of them to get back to me because I might need to tweak his food today. But yeah, meal one is 45 grams of this. So last episode I said the chocolate brownie is the go, but I'd say top three is chocolate brownie, cookies and cream, and popcorn. You just can't eat popcorn. You can eat popcorn like 90% of your whole window of training. It's just at that peak off season, it's too sweet or too salty to be eaten all the time. And then we've got 60 grams of Flavin's oats. Probably the most goated oats, like Quaker are good. I went on a run there for a while eating like whole grain, was it Flavin's? Whole grain organic jumbo oats because they're essentially the cleanest, if that makes sense. But they all taste similar though. These are probably the nicest tasting in my opinion. And then we've got 100 grams of frozen blueberries. So I just need to add the blueberries in now. I can't even see the dish, but I'll show you. So yeah, POA is eat this meal. So I've done my fasted cardio, sent some messages. Need to make sure you get 100 on the dot. We're on 103 there. Boom. 100 on the dot. Well, actually, don't know if I can turn this around because I can, because the thing's fixed. But as you can see there, 100 on the dot. We don't miss in that regard. So yeah, just need to get some salt because of salt every meal, and that's important. Like people, I think, neglect salt. I don't do at the moment. Just out of kind of, I'd say lazy. It's not laziness. It's like not majoring in the minors. I just do like, fuck, I just spilled that all over this. But I don't weigh out my salt. I don't do like 1-to-1. Potassium to sodium, like low salt, anything like that. I don't, just because I don't stress over it. I get a good pump in the gym. I can contract hard. I don't feel the need to, I'm not like stressing over that. My hydration's on point, I get about 6 liters of fluid in. So yeah, I just can't be bothered weighing it out, to be honest. One, because my scales aren't, these scales, to be fair, have held up the best out of any scales I had. Just ones I got off of Amazon. They were actually kind of expensive, to be honest. I think they were like 30 or 40 quid, but yeah, they've held up the best. They're the most accurate per gram that I've had in terms of just consistency over time. But they don't have like a milligram bit. I do have somewhere like dual scales for, weighing out, salt or drugs. Dodgy one when you're coming through the airport with them. Like I remember when I was prepping, I came through, my bag got searched and they pulled out them scales and they were like, why do you have this? It's like, oh, it's for my salt, mate. Yeah, completely believable. Granted, I was actually at Manchester Airport, not to go on a complete tangent here, and got like, it was right, I was coming home from my last show. Every flight back to Belfast is getting cancelled for some reason. I don't know if there was like, I genuinely thought like, is there like a terrorist attack or something going on? But flight from Birmingham gets cancelled. Another flight gets cancelled from Birmingham. I'm like, I had to get a taxi from Birmingham to Manchester because I was like so tired from competing. I just want to sleep in my own bed. I can't be bothered forking out for a hotel because in case the flights get cancelled the next day. So I was like, I need to get home. Got really expensive Uber to Manchester. Tried to get the last flight home from Manchester to Belfast because it was the only like one in that kind of region of England, just not cancelled. Trying to get through. They only use face scanners in Manchester, not to go on a tangent here, but they only use face scanners. Obviously, I'm heavily depleted. I've got fake tan on. The face scanners aren't working. I'm like to the girl, like, you can, like, my passport is here. Can you not just look at my passport and look at me and verify it? She's like, I can't do that. So the face scanner fails like 5 or 6 times. And she's like, right, I'm gonna have to get the manager down. Manager comes down, looks at my passport, looks at me, and just goes, yeah, go ahead. I was like, oh my God, could you not just done that? Get the whole way through to, no, before I even got there, or was that before? I don't know. At the security, my bag gets pulled up. The guy's like, why have you got salt in your bag? So I had like a shaker. I was like, mate, to be honest, I just got like an hour and a half Uber here. I'm fucking really tired. The salt's in my bag because I just competed earlier on today in bodybuilding. I just forgot it was in there. And he's like, right, but like, could you not have bought salt like when you got to Belfast? And I was like, mate, I've been having that half the salt in my meals. I've had to salt them all day. Just throw the salt in the bin, please. Guy continues just questioning me for ages about the salt. I was like, mate, just put it in the bin. I was actually getting pissed off. Like, I was like, I couldn't care less about the salt, just put it in the bin. And he's like, but why couldn't you have bought it when you got to Belfast? I was like, how could I salt my meals earlier on in the day and then buy the salt when I get to Belfast at like 10 o'clock at night? It was just, oh, he's pissing me off, man. Just like, I literally said, like, if that was drugs, I wouldn't have said put it in the bin, would I? I'd be like, oh, trying to justify it and shit. I was like, mate, just put it in the bin. Gonna miss this flight. I'm pretty sure they've been dicking about the face scanner before this. I was like, the face scanner's pissing me off. All my flights have been cancelled. Threw the salt in the bin and please just let me go through. After like fucking 15 minutes of salt discussion, he finally puts it in the bin and lets me go through. Then finally get to like, I'm like, right, I'm gonna get the flight here. There's another face scanner. Of course that doesn't work. Like 5 times, have to get another fella down to like verify me. Yeah, we got there in the end, but it was just like the most effort ever. So yeah, major tangent there, but meal 1 going in. Let's get a taste test. Popcorn is, oh. Boom, boom, boom. Absolute smackers. I'll join you with the pre-workout meal. Boom, we're back for meal 2. Nearly failed the full day of eating on the second meal. Well, essentially failed on the first meal because I forgot to say that I had 10 grams of dark chocolate. Also had 10 grams of dark chocolate with this meat, so it's 200 grams of chicken, 125 grams of peppers, 150 grams of sushi rice, and 30 grams of honey, and 5 grams of Cholula hot sauce. Tandoori seasoning, yeah, with Cholula hot sauce. So goated. New episode of the podcast is just up as well, so check that out. Meat and Potatoes episode 12 with Brian Conway. Absolute banger of an episode, like probably my favourite episode that we've put up yet. Just so insightful, like hearing his different opinion on how he's like adjusted his training, different mindset tips, because he came from so far the other way, being like so heavy, and then becoming like a really good bodybuilder. So yeah, just a good conversation. Like, it didn't feel like an interview sort of thing. The conversation just flowed really well. So I was really happy with how the episode turned out. So yeah, new episode out now on Spotify and YouTube. And yeah, time to inhale this meal. Post-workout meal going in, feeling kind of fried from training legs. So we've got 100 grams of banana in here, and then we have 120 grams of ASN, or not ASN, of Hydro Rice, and 60 grams of Perform popcorn. That popcorn's hitting, especially with the extra salt on top. But yeah, wrapped up some legs there, so probably make like kind of a little edit of the leg workout. Tried to do like a mic'd up, done the first exercise. It was so annoying. I went in and I was waiting on like 4 exercises off the rip. I just couldn't get that momentum going into the session. I finally got it going a bit. That was like the best leg day I've had in a good while. The adductor's just been playing up, still playing up there, but I've just been running slightly higher volume to kind of make up for the fact that I can't take sets like the whole way there, because instability kicks in before you can get maybe them like last 1, 2, 3 reps that I would normally go for. But overall, good session. I think I'm going to start training legs from the dock more often. But yeah, hopefully this adductor keeps kind of healing up and keep doing more mobility work, and then yeah, should be able to hopefully in the next kind of couple of weeks or so go back to, you know, properly sending legs. I hate not being able to train properly. Definitely at this phase, in this phase right now, it's like health phase, so everything's coming down off like the back of just heavy kind of off-season training blocks with like heavier body weight. Just feeling a lot of little niggles like in the trap. I've got sports massage booked for next week, so that should open up my back a bit more, help with the kind of the trap and the shoulder, and then yeah, hopefully just the massage, or not the massage, the mobility work and stuff helps with the adductor. But yeah, gotta remain positive. So yeah, good. I could barely even talk after training legs, but yeah, good sessions to come. Time for meal number 4. One more meal after this, but here we have it. It is 150 grams of 5% beef mince, 100 grams of sushi rice, and 50 grams of asparagus, and then 15 grams of 0 sugar red sauce, and then just a little bit of seasonings on it. So yeah, lovely stuff. Like, one thing I do is I try and make all my meals taste nice, but not too nice, if that makes sense. I like them very, like, there's not a lot of sauce like all over the rice, or there's just a bit of seasoning on the mince. I'm not trying to make them taste amazing, because that's one thing I see people make mistakes in whenever they start dieting, is making everything just overly, especially if people who like sweet stuff, make everything overly sweetened, using lots of sweeteners, getting like these really, you know, like cream of rice, really artificial flavors, really kind of extravagant flavors of whey, and it's like your food noise, or not food, saying food noise because I keep hearing so many people say food noise. Food noise is a little shite. Food focus goes way up, just because you're almost getting like these really large just hits of like sugar almost, and just a really nice flavour. So you nearly crave the kind of sweets and things like that even more. Whereas if your meals are kind of plain, you'll enjoy them because you're hungry, but you won't have that same level of like, oh, I'd love this or I'd love that. Still be hungry, yeah, but you won't have that same level of this like craving spiking. Like, one thing I did when I was prepping was my first meal of the day for ages was 200 grams of egg whites, and then there'd be like maybe an egg the odd time in there, and 15 grams of 0 sugar red sauce. And no joke, I haven't since I finished prep, I haven't eaten a single egg, because I was so sick of them. I hated it. I didn't like it whenever it started, but I was on my meal plan, so I just ate it. But yeah, I just made them like scrambled, and I hated eating the meal. Like, but because I was so hungry and I didn't like it, it would actually take me a bit longer to eat, which filled me up more. I didn't really look forward to the meal, if that makes sense. Whenever bagels and stuff were added in, it was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm looking forward. But just egg whites on their own, it was just grim. Like, so it like dampened the hunger a bit. So that's like a tip. Don't overly, like, I really wanted for this diet to keep my whey the exact same flavour, but I went to the supplement shop and they didn't have the flavour that I normally get. And I was like, oh well, the other flavour I always get, I'll get it. They didn't have it, so I had to get the popcorn one, which tastes really good, but it's just like, again, you're like almost, I can feel myself almost looking forward to it, and I'm like, fuck's sake. But I'm at the really nice part now where it's like you've been dieting a little bit, you're hungry for your meals, you want to eat your meals, your hunger isn't like through the roof, you're not tired from eating like so much food in the off season where you're sick of eating. It's like this really nice sweet spot where training still feels good because like I'm still on like put the macros at the end, but it's like off the top of my head, maybe like 250 protein, 500 carb, 50 fat, or something along those lines. And it's like your food's just in a good spot. You're not on like 300 or less carb that people get on, where, you know, or like fucking pro fat. You know, you have a decent amount of carbohydrate if you're training. All your meals are fully digested whenever you're training. You know, you feel pretty good. You still got like 5 decent-ish meals spaced throughout the day. Like only on a rest day I have a no carb meal, and I've had that the whole, even through my whole off season. I didn't have any carbs in my first meal on a rest day, just to help with insulin sensitivity and just keeping almost hunger there. Like when you eat a non-carb meal, like there's not even fats in it, it's not even a pro fat meal, it's just a pro meal, it just almost spikes your hunger in a way and has you really ready for that second meal. And if you can keep that in throughout your whole off season, it'll just make getting food in a lot easier. Obviously, if I got to a point where my rest day food was like crazy high, but it didn't. I think it only got to maybe 450 carb, 500 on a rest day, so it wasn't too crazy. But yeah, like my rest day first meal is just 60 grams of whey, and I have that as a shake. I'm not doing any whey pastes or any fucking bullshit like that. It's just literally a shake down the hatch in the morning. But yeah, gonna eat this meal now. Have a bit more work to do on the laptop, some coaching stuff, new inquiries, people messaging me. I have one like late check-in to do that, do some steps, and then I'll come back for the last meal. Final meal of the day going in. It's chicken, rice, kimchi, hot sauce, Montezuma dark chocolate. But here's a bit of a pro tip on just kind of making food and just your meals in general. So here I have this Tupperware. In there, there's a kilo of chicken and 600 grams of veg. And then have my kind of dish of rice. And then I put the bowl on the scales. Can't get this pan down because it's on my face, but essentially I put the bowl on the scales, then I weigh everything out. So what I'll see people do, or especially if you're busier or whatever, people are trying to cook every meal, or every single meal is really different. And the thing with bodybuilding or just getting in shape in general is you need to make everything as easy as possible. So like you'll have seen there, 3 of my meals today are rice based, 2 are chicken, 1's mint. And I just prep everything in big batches like this. And all I have to do now is take this chicken out, it's already cooked, put it in the dish, put the rest of the rice in, add the kimchi, hot sauce, ding it in the microwave. I'm not making every meal fresh essentially, and it makes it so much easier. Like let's say, for example, I have to go to work tomorrow. I have all this chicken cooked, so that means all I literally have to do is, one of the meals is that the 2 meals I bring to work are oats and chicken and sourdough sandwiches. All I have to do is put that chicken in a sandwich or in the sourdough, and then make some oats in some Tupperware. It takes me 5 minutes max, and then my meal's ready for work. Same with if it's a training day and I'm going to work, I just have to put chicken and rice into 2 Tupperware, and the chicken's already cooked. The rice, I already cook all the rice. I cook the rice every day. I just put in however much I need for the day, but then that's all of it done in one go. And it's as simple as that. I do the chicken in the air fryer. All I have to do is cut it up and press on and put some seasonings in. Make it simple. Don't be, pan frying your chicken every day from scratch for each meal, or, cooking the rice for each meal. It's just way too much effort, way too much inconvenience. Even making your meal plan super complicated becomes an issue. Like in the off season, I probably will still do this again, but
I'll probably do it in a more efficient manner. I had fruit with every meal and kind of veg with nearly every meal, and it was all right at the start. I got like a good 6 month run where my willpower kind of carried me through, but it got to the point where, like, for example, meal one was, I had a kiwi, so it was like kiwi, blueberries, what was it, kiwi, blueberries, apple, banana, pineapple, that was it. And I would just, so like kiwis come in a pack of 4, apples come in a pack of 6, bananas can be whatever. Blueberries are easy enough because you're just weighing out from the bag frozen, so like, you know, you get like 3 servings in that. Same with like the pineapple I was getting. I wasn't buying a big pineapple, cutting it up again, just way too much effort. But I found I was in the shop, like it felt like every day I was out of one of them, and it just got to the point after a while I was like, I am sick of being in the shop. It didn't really matter how much I stocked up, because obviously fruit, you know, goes out of date as well. Felt like I was just always in the shop, and it got like really annoying trying to keep all the fruit in every meal. So what I did was I have blueberries and bananas in at the moment as my 2 fruit sources. I will add more, but the best way to do it is usually frozen, or it's just something that's easy to weigh out, like sultanas. I had them in for ages because you can buy a big bag of them. You just weigh out however much you need for each meal. They're pro tip for actually gaining phases. Sultanas or king. They're so easy to eat. They're like raisins. Maybe they even technically are raisins, I don't know, but they're called sultanas. And it's just so easy for getting carbohydrate in. They taste kind of like small sweets. They're way better than dates. You know, everyone hypes dates up. Dates are shite compared to sultanas, like. And yeah, easy way to add carbs, easy way to get that kind of. You essentially want your diet to be as colourful as possible. You know, I've definitely been someone in the past, and even with this diet right now, is it perfect in terms of like every single micronutrient being hit? Probably not, but I'm getting a good variety of colour in, at least. You know, I've got some bananas in there, blueberries in there, have this kind of mixed veg or peppers, so lots of kind of vitamin C and things like that. I'm trying to remember actually how much of this I need. It's training day, so I need 200 grams, so yeah. You know, I've got the kimchi in here as a form of veg. I had asparagus for the last meal for some greens. You know, it's just trying to get as much colour as possible. Nutrient quality matters, micronutrients matter. You know, if you're this person who's eating whey and cream of rice for every meal, and it's just, you know, it's all right for like 1 or 2 meals a day, but especially when food gets higher, but you know, you're not going to make as much progress. There's less nutrients to kind of shuttle around the body. You're not going to feel it anywhere near as good. Just on the regular, like. So mixing nutrients up. Same with kimchi as well. Like, I have 50 grams every day of kimchi. Don't overdo stuff like this. That's a big thing I've been seeing recently, is people overdoing sort of the digestion foods. You know, their digestion was fine in the first place, and then they're putting, you know, they're eating 200 grams or eating 50 kimchi with every meal, 50 sauerkraut with every meal. You know, they can't eat a meal without fucking pineapple because, oh, you know, there's bromelain in it, I need it to digest the protein. It's like, you know, just chill out, like, just stop eating shite and your digestion will probably be alright, and move a bit between your meals. Stop. Loads of people stress themselves into poor digestion. Whereas, like, you know, just eat high quality food, move between meals, have primarily rice-based carbohydrate. Yeah, your digestion will be fine. Don't keep good meal time and don't be squeezing all your meals together. So now we'll ding this in the microwave for a minute. Yeah, like I say, most people's load of digestive stress comes from actually just overstressing digestion, or the kind of ironic coming from me, but just abusing loads of you know, energy drinks or fizzy drinks, like having loads and loads of 0-calorie fizzy drinks. It's like that is going to take a toll on your stomach. There we go, 20 grams of, that's the dark chocolate I use as well. As the, well, the name's half gone, but it's the Montezuma 100% dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, very good for kind of blood flow, like it's good to pre-workout, great fat source. Tastes nice as well. The 100% now is a bit of an acquired taste. I would work your way up, start at, don't be eating, I see people eating 70%, you may as well be eating dairy milk at that point, you know, 85% and up, get dark chocolate in. Other healthy fat sources are like macadamia nut oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. What else could you have? You know, your nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter. You know, eggs I suppose you could use as a fat source. Not that I would be adding like loads of eggs every meal, but yeah, there's loads of fat sources out there. Find ones that you like, have a variety of them as well. Same with, you know, proteins, carbohydrate as well. Like you just want a variety. That's you know, a thing that causes digestion issues over time is just lack of variety as well. Like these people who are like, oh, I'm so locked in, bro. Chicken, broccoli, rice every single meal. If you have it every single meal, you know, 5 times a day, eventually, like that will actually upset your stomach a little bit. So, you know, have some rice, have some potato, have some mince, have some fish, have some chicken, turkey, whatever. Mix your sources up. Pasta for a carb source as well, maybe. Sourdough, bagels, you know, there's an infinite number of combinations you can put out there. Like tomorrow is on my rest is one of my favorite meals is the chicken, kimchi, sourdough and peanut butter. Like that combo tastes banging. I look forward to it every day on a rest day. Could I, you know, put that every day in training day if I wanted? Yeah, but I like having just as my nice little like thing on a rest day, and then I have like potato on a rest day as well, and just like different sources there. Like I say, just variety the diet up, or vary the diet up, should I say? So yeah, just keep that little bit of variety in there as well. Don't overcomplicate it. Like realistically, all you need for a meal is a protein source, a carb source, and based on where your fats are, a potential like fat source. And that's simply it. Don't be overcomplicating stuff. You know, you keep the meals clean. It becomes easy to structure like that. You just work out, oh well, how many carbs do you need, how many grams of protein? Divide the protein by 5. There you have, you know, your protein hit for each meal. Pick a protein source. Same your carbohydrate. Obviously, it's a bit more confusing on training day. You want like 50% of your carbohydrate around that kind of training window, pre and post, to kind of fuel and recover from training. Replenish glycogen. You want obviously fruit sources there for like that kind of mix of glucose and fructose pre-workout. You know, but that's stuff that comes down the line. You know, get consistently eating meals first. Meals that sit well, digest, you actually enjoy eating, and then you can worry about optimizing as you go on. But yeah, that's just, you know, I think people have this really overcomplicated view of foods because they're so used to eating just pure processed guff. Whereas, like I say, protein source, fat source, carbohydrate source, keep it simple. It makes the, you know, macros easier. Put some veg in there, add some color. It's as simple as that. Do that within whatever calorie means you're supposed to be in. If it's a deficit, you know, pull the carbohydrates down so you're in a deficit. If you're going to get in the phase, add more carbohydrate in. Simple as that. Little taste test here. Bit of kimchi there, a bit of chicken. That will wrap up today's full day of eating. I'll put the calories and macros somewhere around here. It's like 250 protein, 500 carb, 50 fat, I believe. And I'm already down. Like, I'm gonna wait till I get a bit leaner and then I'll do a proper video on kind of the diet. But I'm already down. Like peak, I was 221. I was 198.4 this morning. It's 197.6 yesterday, which was like the low of the diet. And like just increase mode, like 30 minutes cardio every day. It feels so easy. Like I was saying, I feel really good. When you've pushed the gaining phase so hard that you're sick of food, dieting becomes really, really easy, in my opinion, because
it feels like you're almost getting a break, and then by the time this kind of break is over and you start to feel like you're dieting, you're pretty much done anyways. You should be anyways in terms of timeline. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Yeah, should be a good one. And then next week, will be a really good few episodes. We'll be doing kind of the whole Nebula trip. We'll have that'll be a 2-day thing because we're going down on Saturday. Probably train at a gym on the way down, and then the kind of meetup thing is on the Sunday, so it'll be a little 2-day road trip number. I know me and Phoenix are at least going, so yeah, 2/3 of the meat and potatoes are going. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It'll be a good episode. It'll be great just kind of capturing that Irish bodybuilding scene. And then, like I say, after that, going to a competition the week after. There's something on the week after that. There's something on the week after that. So the videos will be a bit more exciting than me just sitting in my house eating meals. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're interested in coaching, hit the link in my bio, I think it's on the YouTube, or just DM me on Instagram. And yeah, the coaching support, inquiries, whatever word I'm looking for, has been great at the moment. So yeah, keep it up. A lot more people are joining the team. I'm really excited to get Sam and James on stage. I think that's like my next kind of milestone as a coach. So yeah, I'm very excited to get them on and document all that. So yeah, thank you for listening.